Good morning and welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Chris May. Well, a couple of deals promise to bring new life into the region's oil refining industry. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines has acquired the ConocoPhillips refinery in Traynor, Delaware County. It says that its modest acquisition costs will help control the cost of jet fuel, its largest expense. Sunoco is also changing hands. Energy Transfer Partners agreed to buy that company for $5.3 billion. So what will the deals mean for keeping jobs and boosting the economy? Those are among the questions we'll ask Senator Pat Toomey this morning. The Pennsylvania Republican is on the Budget, Banking, Commerce, and Joint Economic Committees, and this fall he will become chair of the Senate Steering Committee, a caucus of conservative senators. Senator, good to see you. Thanks for being with us again this morning.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Always nice to talk to you. Since we last spoke, it seems that your name has started to appear on many lists as a potential candidate for Vice President of the United States. You have to be asked, of course, for that honor, but if you were asked, how would you respond?
Well, Chris, I think it's very unlikely that I'm going to be asked. You know, one of the blessings that we have is a very deep bench. Across the country, there are quite a large number of folks who are very well qualified and would be a great addition to the ticket. So Governor Romney has the luxury of having a lot of people to choose from. I'm sure he'll make a good choice, but I'm very confident I'll continue to be the senator from Pennsylvania, and I look forward to that.
A lot of people do believe, though, that he could pick up the phone and call you and ask the question. Would it be a no?
If Governor Romney wants to have a conversation with me, I'm happy to have a conversation with him about anything he'd like to discuss, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a senator, and like I say, he's got a lot of choices.
Okay. Have you or has anyone working on your behalf been contacted by the campaign, by anyone who may be playing a role in this process?
No. If you're asking whether they've begun any vetting process regarding me, no. That hasn't happened.
Okay. Would you agree to be vetted?
It's very, I don't even know what the process would be. I have no idea. So, again, I'm just going to keep plugging away at the job that I have. I love this job. It's a great challenge. It's a great opportunity to do some good things for Pennsylvania. That's my focus.
Okay. You mentioned a deep bench. If not you, right, who would make a good vice president?
There's lots of great guys. I mean, I think there's some governors out there. Tim Pawlenty and Mitch Daniels are terrific guys. I've got colleagues in the Senate who could do this job. I mean, Rob Portman is very well qualified. Marco Rubio is a very charismatic and engaging guy. So it's a long list. There's folks who would add a lot to the ticket, and most importantly, in my view, the governor, I'm sure, will be looking for someone who's qualified to step into his shoes if, God forbid, that were necessary.
Okay. So you've expressed your love for your current job. If asked to serve in a Republican cabinet at the end of this year, would that be a consideration?
You know, I haven't given that a moment's thought, and I really don't think that's in the cards. I really think I can play a very, very helpful role for the Commonwealth in the Senate, and it's probably best that I stay right there.
Okay. You have endorsed Mitt Romney's candidacy in this race. You're a conservative. There are a lot of conservatives, though, who over the course of this campaign have had their doubts about Governor Romney, to be fair. They've wondered whether he's truly one of them. Do you think that he is someone who can carry the Reagan torch, if you will, moving forward?
I do. I think he's the kind of conservative that can appeal very broadly. If you look at the work that he did as governor of Massachusetts, this is a governor who cut spending, who cut taxes, who pushed back on too many regulations, who shrunk the government workforce when it needed to be, and he did all that despite having an overwhelming, I mean almost unanimously Democratic state legislature, and a very liberal state to boot. So I don't think there's any question that he comes from a frame of mind that it's the private sector that's a source of jobs and economic growth and prosperity, and he wants to limit government. So I think he'll govern as a Reagan kind of conservative, and I look forward to it. I hope he will have that chance.
A clear choice between Mitt Romney and President Obama in the fall?
As stark a contrast as I can imagine. I mean, President Obama's entire focus has been growing government, having government take over whole industries, nationalizing industries, taking over the healthcare sector indirectly, huge tax increases, unbelievable spending increases, massive deficits, all kinds of new regulation. That's the exact opposite of the direction that Governor Romney wants to go, where we'll focus on a free enterprise system, allow the private sector to grow and create jobs, and not have the government doing everything. So it's a very clear contrast.
We saw the president this week in Afghanistan signing a long-term agreement with the Afghans on what our presence would be in that country. He also said in a speech there that defeating al-Qaeda is now within our reach. What are your thoughts on what the president had to say this week and where he said it, how he had to say it?
As a general matter, I think that it's appropriate and really even necessary that as we disengage from Afghanistan, we still have an ongoing commitment to help provide some resources, some advice, some training, and some personnel for to enable the Afghan people to continue the transition to providing their own security. When you go into a country, as we did, out of necessity because of what happened to this country, you have an obligation to make sure that there's a transition that works for those people. I think this is a step in that direction. Haven't had a chance to read through the details of the agreement, but I understand the purpose of it and the general direction makes sense.